Hi everyone, we're here with Jeremy again, and today we're going to be talking about CDM reports.
Hi Mike.
Hi Jeremy. What is a utility CDM report?
Okay, so utility CDM risk assessments are about helping the client, a principal designer and the contractor understand the utility risks that are associated with any development. And what we do is we give them a report that takes the utility search and advises them as to what they should be doing in and around different types of utilities before they break the ground, so that when they do break the ground, they avoid utility strikes and or any utility damage.
I guess that's why they're so important.
Yeah, they're really important so that the client, the principal designer, can discharge their responsibilities in the CDM regs around utility discovery, as well as ensure that they comply with safe dig practices. So it's about compliance for these guys, and where we add value to that compliance is enabling a visualization of the risks.
Okay, what are the key features within the report?
So we provide them not only with the utility search report, we provide a commentary around each different utility and where each utility exists for a development scheme. We would normally provide it with one of our fast view drawings, and we would mark up that fast view drawing with what level of PAS 1 to 8 survey might be required in each location, and we provide an ALARP analysis as well.
Okay, what role does the HSG47 have?
Okay, so HSG47 is the Health and Safety Executive's guidance on utilities discovery before a developer breaks ground, and that sets out everything that a developer or a contractor should do in order to avoid utility damage and conflict. So it's an important document for developers and contractors to understand, to ensure that they follow best practice whilst building any site.
Okay, we've all heard of PAS 128, well at least I hope our users have heard of PAS 128, but how does it help when it comes to CDM reports?
Yeah, so PAS 128 was written to enable a client, whether it's a client, a principal designer or a contractor, to write an adequate scope for the circumstances in which they find themselves against the utility conflict. And that scope was to enable the practitioner to have a clearly defined requirement for the work that they might do whilst discovering utilities before a client or contractor might break the ground. So the whole idea around PAS 128 is to set a framework for that scoping, as well as to enable a practitioner or a series of practitioners to give consistent recording around the accuracy of the utility discovery that they've completed. So both of those two documents, as well as the CDM regs, are brought together from a site-specific point of view inside our CDM risk assessment reports.
What are the uses of the report?
So the client can use it to understand the complexity of the utility conflict and the complexity and programme of completing safe dig practices. The principal designer would use the report to put it into the pre-contract health and safety pack for the contractor, and the contractors themselves can obviously use it on site to ensure that they're doing the correct safe dig work in and around utilities on site.
Excellent. You mentioned earlier about the ALARP analysis. Could you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, so that's a summary table that enables all parties to consider each of the utilities in the different localities around the seriousness of the potential conflict. So it runs on a kind of red, amber, green cascade where the most significant risks are identified, as well as what safe dig practices need to be employed and discovery techniques need to be employed in order to keep the risk of utility strikes as low as reasonably practicable. And that's what ALARP is all about.
So like traffic light management?
It's kind of traffic light risk management that directs the client and the contractor to the most serious risks.
Excellent. Can you tell us a bit more about the Hotwood Hall site?
Yeah, so the Hotwood Hall site was the most interesting CDM risk assessment we've done. It was a college that was introducing a green energy generation scheme to their site. Involved sort of some extensive solar panels, some ground source heat pump borehole work, 220 I think boreholes all across the site, as well as cable work from the energy centre to the buildings and back and forth from the ground source heat pumps to the solar panels and so on. So that was an enormous kind of multi-generation energy generation scheme that had quite a lot of utility conflict, from high pressure gas through water conflict, sort of high voltage electricity conflict, but also this kind of normal telecom conflict. So that was quite a big project and for them, and an extensive report for us.
Excellent. What did they like most about the report?
Yeah, so they liked most not only the directives that we gave them around risk management, they also liked the way that we brought the utility plans to life with our fast view, and the way we enabled them to visualise which bits of utility discovery needed to be done where, as well as which areas of the site needed hand digging, for example, and particular attention where the conflict between the proposal that the client was bringing forward and the utility plant existed. So it was about how we sort of deconstructed all of the risks and enabled the client to visualise what those risks were and where.
Right, and I guess that's through the fast view.
Yeah, that was assisted with the fast view, bringing the fast view into the report and marking up the fast view, as well as providing a commentary that directs the client to where the risks were.
Excellent. Who would buy this report and why?
Yeah, so anybody in the development life cycle, really. The scheme promoter, the client, the principal designer, architects support them, project management companies, employers agents, QSHE managers, obviously the principal contractor and or any subcontractor could all buy these CDM risk assessment to help them understand utility conflict and what they're doing around it.
Okay. Can you share with the users how long a report takes and a cost of an average report?
It's difficult to give you a price for an average report, but they start at sort of £500 plus the cost of the search, the utility search. That's for a very small scheme. Anything above kind of 25 hectares in size, or that has any form of complexity or some significant conflict, the client needs to make an application for a fixed fee on every site, but they can escalate, the fees can escalate to many thousands of pounds for a complex scheme.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jeremy.
My pleasure, Mike.